before it was a battlefield, a medieval castle was a threat you could see from miles away. It watched the road, it watched the river crossing, it watched the fields, the village, the market, and everyone who depended on them. A castle was not simply a nobleman's oversized stone house. It was a machine for control. If you held the castle, you held the countryside around it. If you wanted the land, sooner or later, you had to deal with the thing on the hill. And dealing with it usually began in the mud. Imagine you are one of the attackers. You have marched for days in wet boots and heavy gear. Your food is running low. Someone behind you is coughing. Someone ahead of you is praying. And above you, on the walls, are men who have had plenty of time to prepare. They do not need to chase you. They simply need to wait while you walk into the worst place on earth to be unpopular. The cruelty of a good castle was that it was not one problem, it was a sequence of problems. First came the ditch or moat, slowing you down and breaking your formation. Then the outer wall, high enough to make ladders miserable. Then the gatehouse, the obvious entrance, which was obvious because the defenders wanted you to try it. Arrow slits let them shoot while staying protected. Battlements let them strike from above. Murder holes allowed defenders to attack people trapped beneath them. And if you somehow survived all of that, there might still be an inner ward, and then the keep. From the defender's point of view, this was the point. Height was power, stone was power, visibility was power. The attackers below were tired, crowded and exposed. The defenders above were sheltered, organized, and looking down through narrow openings designed to make killing safer than being killed. The castle did not need every defender to be a hero. It made ordinary men more dangerous by giving them walls, angles, and time. The gatehouse was the masterpiece of this unpleasant logic. Every castle needed a way in, which meant the gate was a weakness. So medieval builders turned that weakness into a trap. If attackers forced their way inside, they could be squeezed into a narrow passage, pinned by a portcullis, shot from the sides and attacked from above. Stones could be dropped. Hot water, sand or other missiles could be poured down. Not always boiling oil, by the way. Oil was expensive, and medieval defenders also had budgets. The point was simple. Get the attackers stuck, keep them confused, and make every step forward cost bodies. Of course, you could avoid the gate and try the walls. This was not necessarily an improvement. A ladder assault meant climbing upward with one hand while carrying fear with the other. Above you were defenders with spears, rocks, arrows, and gravity itself, history's most reliable military ally. Even reaching the top did not mean victory. You arrived exhausted, one man at a time, into a place where the defenders had space, balance, and friends. And many castles did not need to defeat you in one glorious assault. They could simply make you wait. Sieges were hunger, rain, sickness, rotting animals, bad water, boredom, fear, and the slow argument between patience and starvation. Sometimes the walls fell, sometimes someone surrendered. Sometimes betrayal opened a gate. Sometimes everyone simply ran out of food. That was why castles mattered. They multiplied the strength of defenders, drained the strength of attackers, and forced armies to spend time they often did not have. The medieval castle was not just stone piled into a pretty shape. It was architecture turned into authority. It was height, fear, hunger, and time arranged into walls. And if you were the poor soul ordered to attack it, the castle did not have to hate you, it only had to work.